All right, what's going on, Banter fam? Welcome into the Monday edition of In the Game. I am your host, Hustle, and as always, we are going to be diving into the gaming markets, and the gaming markets aren't looking too bad today. We have Crypto Unicorns token, the Rainbow token, up 59% this week. I know the Rebel Bots token was doing something crazy this week. It's up 400%. ApeCoin still holding at $10. So there's been a lot of pretty good action in the market this week. We have Crabada's Amulet token, which is a part of the ecosystem, up 60%. CyBloc batteries up 42% this week. So a lot of gaming tokens that are behind quality projects have been bouncing this week. We'll take a look at the overview of the market, but more so in this video, I want to give you an overview and a strategy of how I've compounded game to game and taking the yields and compounding them into next projects and the projects that are around the corner and the other projects that are farming profits with play to earn that you can either set passively or as actively as you want to. And I promise you, the yields that you can generate from this strategy, I've generated up to 1,500% yields with this exact strategy that I'm going to lay out in this video from top to bottom, the exact games that I participate in the most, as well as my profit-taking strategy from stable coins, as well as scaling up to increase the passive machine in the background. Without further ado, let's get in the game.
T-minus 15 seconds. Guidance is internal. 12, 11, 10, 9. Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
If you ain't here to hustle, why is you here? But if you here to hustle, the moon is near. It's crypto Banter, not financial advice. If you don't listen, what's the cost, what's the price? This ain't a game, put you on game. I know you gon' play, but ain't a percent. If you ain't here to hustle, why is you here? But if you here to hustle, the moon is near. It's crypto Banter, not financial advice. If you don't listen, what's the cost, what's the price? This ain't a game, put you on game. I know you gon' play, but ain't a play. If you get lost, show you the way.
All right, let's get right into it. As we see here, and this was kind of surprising to me, but it just shows you how much of a trendsetter, and we always talk about it here with the next game around the corner. We talked about it with CyBloc, and whenever we got in early on Pegaxy before it really developed and got up to 22 cents with the VIS price and hit its economies peak. When you find these trends, and this goes for anything, whether it's in crypto or it's in business, that's the people who win the biggest, right? The people who get in the earliest on the trends. And as we're seeing here, Microsoft's corporate VP saying that they started their journey towards the metaverse. And this surprised me in March of 2020. So it kind of goes right in line with the major event that happened in that exact time period. You can put that together. I'm not going to say it because I think it will get kind of I would say, censored potentially in the search algorithm. But as you see here, it was aligning with a big world event in March 2020 that happened, that the metaverse really started to come into play as something of the future, where the virtual world we can live in and the virtual economies we can develop for businesses and just economies in general is massive. So Microsoft, and I'm sure with Meta already rolling out their full plan to go from Facebook to Meta, these big corporate giants have really been seeing this trend for a long time. And as of March of 2020, they started seeing this materialize, which I think is just crazy. And I'm really excited to see Microsoft's full plans. We saw them literally acquire Activision, guys, for basically like 70, I think it was $70 billion or $70 million, one of the two. And I believe it was $70 billion that they acquired Activision. And as we saw, that is a massive acquisition that they will be using to go in on the metaverse, as we see here. And I'll confirm that real quick, just so we have those exact numbers. As we see Activision, Microsoft acquisition. So whenever Microsoft was acquired by Activision, they mentioned for $69 billion. For $69 billion, the acquisition of Activision is their first leg of their metaverse play. So I'm super excited for what Microsoft can bring. And it's all about the centralized entities. This is about bringing mainstream adoption to Web3 in the metaverse, which Microsoft, Meta, Apple, Amazon, those big entities will be able to open the door I found this interesting as we saw Sword, and there we go. Ember Crabada, and we love Alluvium. There's so many projects here. I think the connection here is kind of, it's a thunderstorm in where I am, so please bear with me if it's a little laggy. Illuvium, Aurori. We've talked about literally every single project here. Pegaxy, GenoPets, which is a move to earn type of game, which is a move to earn economy, similar to Steppen. We have Fate and Arena, DeFi Kingdoms, and Bomb Crypto. So this is what CoinGecko terms as the top 10 games to play in 2022. And I think it's a pretty strong list. I mean, like I said, with Steppen, Ember Sword, Crabada, Pegaxy, as known on this channel, if you watch our content, you know that I participate in a lot of these and I'm bullish on a lot of these, such as the ones coming up, Ember Sword, Illuvium, and the current games such as Pegaxy, Crabada. So this is CoinGecko's top 10 list. I think the only one here I might not have covered in depth, to be completely honest, is Bomb Crypto and GenoPets. So in the future, I'll kind of go over these a little more, as GenoPets is kind of like Steppen. It's also on the Solana ecosystem. It's a move to earn game, and I really like the Steppen economy because it's move to earn as well. So if you're a fitness freak or if you walk your dog consistently, you can actually earn tokens for your steps, for your kilometers walked, etc. So we'll go over all of that and more, as I want to go over mainly in this show, and this is going to be the bulk of the show. We're going to get right into it because there's not a lot of news this weekend. And in my opinion, the biggest news is to come this week. I will be going out to San Francisco for the GDC 2022, which is the Game Developer Conference. So I'll be out there networking with a bunch of Web3 and Web2 projects, and it's put on by Meta, Microsoft. So you know that the metaverse is going to be a hot topic out in San Francisco. So I will be boots on the ground there and bringing a bunch of content and information. You can follow my Twitter, Hustlepedia YT, to get all the updates, and I will try to deliver content as well in the video format. I'll do a show at the conference later this week to kind of give you the lowdown of what I'm hearing. But I want to go over my main strategy, which I've kind of put in play ever since the market started taking a turn. I'll show you the exact moment when I started scaling up my play to earn bags and my play to earn economies to go ahead and work for me in the background. And I want to start with this, as macro guru Raoul Pal. We all know Raoul Pal, a brilliant mind in this space. He preaches, and he's a big Ethereum fan, right? Raoul Pal's a big Ethereum fan. But right now, I'm going to go over the same terminology that he terms here, how I've put this to work in play to earn to build a basket of play to earn economies that work for me in the background, that have become a literal play to earn passive revenue machine. And Raoul Pal preaches, you know, he has Bitcoin, Ethereum, and 9 additional altcoins. And the big thing here is he is now creating a weighted basket of quality projects. You should treat your play to earn investments no different. Just like last week when I said, when you put money into a game, this is not a game. This is win and lose, right? It's the same thing in crypto as it is in play to earn. You cannot let down that mindset. And Rand talked about it today, that the sharks are always out. Sharks are always out for the token dumps. The VCs will dump their tokens on retail investors' heads, for example, right? If you want to be a shark, you want to build up in all of these economies and see the next trend and be able to make them work for you and be bulletproof in any state of the market or in any state of the volatility within any given game, because you've built a diverse basket of quality. So we'll start. Whenever I started my play to earn heavily for earning, right? We capitalized on the bull market from August, I would say late August, up until Thanksgiving. I would say the bull market for gaming capped out about Thanksgiving. We capitalized on that, right, in crypto. And then from there, when the market started really going down and we saw the portfolios bleeding from where the top was, well, you have to pivot your profits and you have to pivot your money into something that's going to produce yields. And there's traditional DeFi, right? And even in DeFi, people get scared. Scare money pulls out of DeFi pools. A lot of people leave the market, just to be real, whenever things get hectic. What really took over was play to earn. And we saw this happen with Axie Infinity in May. Whenever the market crashed in May, Axie Infinity made its absolute run and it went against the market trend. And we saw the same with Pegaxy. Pegaxy in December, this started picking up the most steam in the bearish of markets. I mean, Bitcoin started going down. We were at the top in the mid 60s or wherever we topped out at in Bitcoin in November or December, whenever we were at all-time highs. And we see here, the user base just steadily climbed for those months. People pivot to play to earn because this is a natural hedge to the market to still be able to generate yields in these economies. And even now in the 30-day period, we see 100,000 users still in this economy. So this is the first game that we really scaled up at numbers, right? And I'll tell you the exact date we got into Pegaxy was on December 17th right here. So this right here is when we got into Pegaxy. We first covered it on a video right around this exact date on this channel. And I mentioned I bought my first few Pegas and I'm going to give a report back. And as everyone knows, we scaled it up and we wrote it, right? We wrote it all the way up here. And now this is definitely bleeding and they're having troubles finding ways to keep it stable. But at this point where we scaled it and where we rode the economy, we were able to take part of the yields and be able to not only scale up and get more Pegas and breed, but also take profits into stable coins and be able to move along into the next game and begin building our baskets, right? Because if someone bought the top of Axie Infinity, their assets, this now has gone a lot, very, very south. Let's just say an economy owner in August, let's just say in August, everyone was about hearing the wave that people are making a full-time income in Axie Infinity. Boom, boom. They buy a massive amount, hundreds and thousands of dollars worth of Axies to go and put into scholars. And then SLP has gone from 21 cents in July, 28 cents in July, all the way down to a mere 1.7 cents, for example. So we see the volatility of even the biggest games in the space. Axie Infinity was the king, right? Axie Infinity was hands down the king. And they're still the biggest game in the space, so to speak, in that regard. And they were the unicorn. They were the ones that set the play to earn trend in action. But anyone, same as anything. It's the same as a coin, guys. You need to judge the sentiment of the economy. You need to judge how hot is the economy. How tangible is the longevity of this lasting. So when you are going up in these economies, you need to pivot and find the next move. And my next move was naturally Crabada. I had seen this all over my Twitter, the red crabs in people's names, the red arrows up. And I noticed that the crab boys were making tons of money in Crabada. And their community is really strong. They use a ton of memes. It's a very funny community to interact with. And I found that welcoming at first. I got into this economy, I didn't buy the bottom of this economy. I mean, I bought, on the way up here. I bought my first crabs right around here, like 23, 24 cents. A couple weeks. It was while VIS was hot, right? 111-ish. Let's see where VIS was on 111. It wasn't there yet, but VIS was rising. We were starting to get some profits and it was starting to scale up. So we started to put our money into crabs. It might have been right in this area, right around 25 cents. So it's not like I got in the bottom of this economy, right? So I bought a team here, started scaling up. It got up to 34 cents, 36 cents, and it's now taken a swing with some economy changes that they made. But now, with the battle game upcoming, as we see here, there will be an influx of players. There will be an influx of guilds coming into this economy, and there will be people coming to yield and use assets. There are not enough crabs in circulation. There are not enough crabs in circulation to suffice 10,000 more players, 15,000 more players. Teams of crabs require 3 crabs, right? So there's going to be a supply shock in this economy when guilds start seeing the earnings potential that Crabada, the highest yielding play to earn game right now, hands down. And I'll show you the yields. I will show you the yields in a second. With the battle game coming up, we'll have scholarships, which are going to be called discipleships. So they will have a built-in scholarship system where you can rent out your crabs for people to battle with. They also mentioned that the battle game might have more lucrative rewards than the mining game. So definitely look towards the battle game as a big shift and potentially a big uptrend in this economy. They also have their own blockchain coming up to use their utility token as gas, which is super bullish. And that's on the Avalanche chain. We have the battle game expected to launch 1 month from today, from the 18th to the 22nd of April, somewhere in there, April 18th to the 22nd. We'll see the battle game go live, which is a 3 versus 3. And this is going to, it literally looks exactly like Axie. I think that this has scholarships written all over it, and the yields that this game provides, the guilds will definitely be flocking here. And they will have more articles coming up on the game modes and mechanics. They also have a presentation. They also have a presentation at the Avalanche Summit tomorrow at 3:45 GMT, 9:45 Central Time. That's when I'll be leaving for San Francisco tomorrow. So I'll actually be listening to that while I board the plane, hoping to see some little more info on the gaming reveal from Crabada. But nonetheless, super excited about the supply shock incoming and the blockchain that will be burning TUS, that will be burning the TUS token for gas. This is a unique implementation of a utility token. None of these games yet have put their core earnings token as basically, people call it the utility token. Let's be real. When the rewards that you're farming are 300 TUS, 300 TUS, 300 TUS, if you win all of your mines, at the current price, that's over $100 every 4 hours if you're winning your mines, for example. So this 4 hours, the 3 mines, if you go 3 for 3, that's over $100 right here in 4 hours. So you can see how lucrative this can be. You can see how lucrative this can be. But they're now about to scale the treasure under the sea token as the gas token. So I would expect another run up in this economy at some point whenever that does get implemented and it's being burned at a very fast rate for all the transactions in this economy, which, by the way, there were 7 million transactions in this economy in the last 30 days. So you can imagine pivoting from AVAX gas to TUS gas will provide a very good influx of demand for the TUS token. Also, Avalanche's NFT volume, guys, is really climbing. It's over Solana. It's over Ronin. And as we see here, it's a 9% increase over the previous 24 hours. And this is only trending upwards, guys. 2022 is the year of AVAX gaming. Like we've been preaching it here on the channel. 2022 is the year of AVAX gaming as far as the chain most ripe for growth in the gaming sector. And you can get in this economy, guys. You don't have to spend $5,000. You can buy an NFT that pays dividends via the DAO. You can buy 1 crab and rent it out for 400%. You can buy 3 and rent it out for 1,500%. Or you can scale it up for more teams. And the yields you are making are insane. If you start a breed farm and you open up multiple teams, if you scale up from more than 3 teams, the yields become insane. And I would recommend using CrabadaTracker.app. So I'm going to the GDC. I'm not going to have time to mine my crabs. You can still scale up your crabs, put them in the background and rent them out in the tavern for whenever I'm out of town. They'll be automatically renting out every 2 hours, yielding me tons of TUS while I'm away. I'll still come back to the similar, less earnings, but my TUS earnings nonetheless will still be intact, working completely in the background without me having to do a single thing. And then from there you go and you parlay the earnings from both of these economies into CyBloc, which I also told you about on this channel. Before it came out, I said the guilds were moving here. The earnings here have been very, very solid. As we see, the CBT token is at 34 cents. I have 16 CyBlocs right now. The Genesis mentoring period begins tomorrow. Every character in the economy right now, guys, is a Genesis. There has been no breeding done in this economy. I tried to emphasize this before the floor prices got up to $560 here. As we see, this is an overview of the CyBloc economy. And this is the power of the compound. I didn't take Pegas off the table. I didn't take horses off the table, right? I didn't sell a single horse. I haven't sold a crab. I haven't sold a CyBloc, for example. These are all just now printing. I made my money back early on Pegaxy for being early. We're farming very, very quickly and lucratively in Crabada. We got in before this game CyBloc came out. We got in before the assets hit $567 for the bronze floor, for example. And the sales, 14,884. There's only 1,759 holders. And as we see here, the total CyBloc population, it's quite a bit more than that. about 28,000 CyBlocs in circulation. So you can see the guild heaviness here. A lot of guilds are putting scholarships in action in this economy. Follow the money. Follow the money on the guilds. And okay, so Carl, I read your comment. Horses cost less than $50 now, but this is all the point. Build a basket. Build a basket of economies that are working for you. Don't go all in on one economy. And then that won't hurt as bad when you're making money off 3-4 different play to earn passive methods. I can tell you that. Banter Boy says you told to buy CyBlocs at $200. Exactly. We were very early in this game. No breeding has gone on in this economy. And tomorrow the mentoring event begins and you will be able to start scaling up and mentoring, aka breeding your teams and bringing more teams to the table to scale up your earnings and your scholarships. Another game I've been involved in is Steppen. Rand talked about this on his show. You can buy a shoe NFT on the Solana marketplace or right on the Steppen app, and you just start walking or running or jogging based on whichever NFT you choose, and you start earning GST tokens whenever you do start your sessions. And I have been earning pretty decent money here. I think I've earned a little over $100 here already. As far as my earnings on GST. And this is move to earn. I go to the gym. I walk my dog, obviously, every single day. That's a non-negotiable. So I'm going to earn while I can. If you put a lot of these methods, you don't have to be attached to the computer all day. A lot of these can farm in the background. You rent out your Pegas. You can go as passive if you want. You can rent out your crabs, for example. And you're finding some scholars for these. Yes, I have scholars in Pegaxy and we have scholars in CyBloc. We're looking to definitely have scholars in Crabada whenever that does get presented as well. Crazy but genius content, definitely. What Steppen is doing is definitely genius, right? Move to earn. It incentivizes you to be active. And let me just give you an overview. So I'll pull up the spreadsheet that I tried to overview of this to give you the basket. Here's my basket, guys. I'm giving you the basket. So Raoul Paul preaches the basket. Here's the hustle, play to earn basket. And I can tell you what, the yields for this are well above anything else I've found in crypto to this point. If you scale it up, if you're willing to scale it up and you're putting the time in to make sure you're optimizing everything and paying attention to the economical changes. So the games I'm involved in right now, the most heavy are Pegaxy, Crabada, CyBloc, and Steppen. Can you earn on Steppen when cycling too? I believe so. Just make sure you get a runner. That way, whenever you have a runner, your speed at least detects while you're on a bike. But I think that would work. And then let's talk about gamified DeFi. Let's say you don't want to buy a game. Let's say you don't trust play to earn. You think it's a Ponzi. You think someone's going to dump on you, etc. You just think you're not going to win in play to earn. Well, there's other options to start farming profits in the gamified DeFi realm. We've talked about DeFi kingdoms, and obviously DeFi kingdoms with the Jewel token, they're about to branch over to Avalanche. And as we know, the Crystal token will be the new token over there. They'll also be burning Jewel for gas, similar to Crabada. So I really, really think that DeFi kingdoms, there's a big opportunity in a week when they bridge to Avalanche. Those new yields on that new platform on Avalanche could be lucrative. And let's just take a look at the roadmap. So we're here, right? We're at Kingdoms and Land. We're about to branch to Crystal Vale for the bank, gardens, and marketplace. Brand new liquidity pools that probably are going to have much higher APYs and APRs than the current pools because they are early. They are brand new pools. They'll also have the docks, Gen Zero Heroes, the tavern, professions. So this will be a complete full spectrum. Into the Avalanche blockchain with their own DFK blockchain. So I'm really, really bullish on DeFi kingdoms, and we've been farming here, as everyone knows. But there's another one that's been creeping up in the space that I do want to talk about, and that is called DEFIRA. So when you look at the Harmony chain here, DeFi Llama shows the biggest TVL players on the Harmony chain. And DeFi Kingdoms, respectfully, has 41% of TVL on the chain. But right behind it is Tranquil Finance. Tranquil Finance actually just launched DEFIRA. DEFIRA is basically a gaming ecosystem deck similar to DeFi Kingdoms. You could almost call it a copycat of DeFi Kingdoms, but the TVL that they have, respectfully speaking, is impressive. They have 233 million in TVL on the Tranquil protocol and a 41% increase in the last month. A 41% increase on the last month. So as we see here, Tranquil Finance, as this is a protocol that has tons of different liquidity pools, but more so, if you go onto the DEFIRA game, you can hit the farmer, for example, and if you compound your earnings here every single day, which I try to make sure to compound every single day, you're getting 14.97% APR, 16.10% APR, and the reason that this is potentially healthy for now is most of it is locked. Over 1,000% of your earnings are locked in a time-locked contract, similar to Jewel. If you are participating in DeFi Kingdoms, portions of your rewards from your yields are locked up in a timed locked contract in which you can't sell short term. So it creates a demand long term to actually hold into this economy. So you're looking at 1,500%, 1,600%. I compounded these this morning. I've made 30 more bucks, right? So this adds up quickly if you're taking all of your income from all of these economies and compounding, that's the key word, compounding them into a basket that really is a bulletproof machine. And I'm willing to take some stabs at a game like DEFIRA, which is brand new. These pools here only have 7 million in TVL, 4 million in TVL, 2 million in TVL, right? But I'm willing to now take these stabs because we have been early, or we have taken these economies and made them work for us and not been chasing, right? You don't want to be chasing the praying that it gets you back. Compounding these economies is where the power is. Because I see all over Twitter, when people are attached to one particular game, that's just never a good, you're always just so worried about that game and it's always on your mind. It's not good when the game's going down for your health if you're so overly invested in one single game. So if you take the power of everything, if you take the power of all these economies and wrap them into your own machine, this is how you make it work for you. And they will be actually bridging over to the Cronos chain. So this DEFIRA project with the Crow, with the Crow token, they will be actually bridging eventually to the Cronos chain, and they'll have the Cronia continent. So very interesting that they'll be, going over. That's a major player in the space, right? So something to definitely take a look at. Locked up compounding is useless, but if you compound it, they have staking pools for the locked liquidity. It creates long-term demand and makes it healthy. If everyone's dumping the tokens as soon as they get them, the economy won't be, a long-term play at all. And DeFi Kingdoms has made a killing, and they lock up 50% of your earnings anyway. So it's proven to be a successful model, as we see with DeFi Kingdoms. So I actually don't think it's the end of the world, and it prevents mass liquidity from hitting the market. And this will take them cross-chain, which I really like. The same that DeFi Kingdoms is doing. Another method, if you want to play risk-free, you can stake single-sided, guys. You can stake single-sided. There's ways to do this. Sin City staking for the SYNR token, the SYNR token, currently is still 500+%. So if you're in Mobland, and I'm absolutely in love with Mobland. I can't wait for their beta or their alpha game to drop stage 1. And they're also revealing their blueprints here this week. And they'll do it right on the Mobland marketplace, which I'm looking forward to seeing their interface, as all of their websites have been very cryptic and very clean looking to this point. Sin City, you can yield about 500% on single-sided staking. You're not risking impermanent loss here. So you could do that and you're not risking impermanent loss. If you have a crypto unicorn for the upcoming jousting, racing, land, there's so much gameplay elements to crypto unicorns, and we'll talk about it more when the game comes out in April. But you can stake your unicorn for daily tokens. If you have ships in Star Atlas, you can stake your ships for daily yields on the Atlas token. Now, it's not crazy lucrative. That one's not lucrative unless you have like a massive, massive ship or a legendary ship. But these are all options that you can take part in at low or very high scales to make work for you. And Vulcan Forge land staking, I am staking a land plot in Vulcan Forge for PYR or lava rewards. Mavia land staking is right around the corner, and Crabada token staking. So when you stake the Crabada token, it creates CRAM tokens. So what you're yielding is the CRAM token, which you actually can purchase more team slots because you start with 3 teams. But if you want to scale it up beyond 3 teams, you need to earn the CRAM token, which you can then buy team slots to then be able to actually scale up your teams. So right now, what this has done, Pegaxy and DeFi Kingdoms turned into Pegaxy, Crabada, CyBloc, DeFi Kingdoms, STEPN, staking all these different protocols and land plots. It turned into this machine that I don't even have to, people might think I sit here and play games all day. I don't sit here and play games all day, right? I sit here and I have built this basket, as Raoul Paul says, that is now something that I don't even have to worry about the market condition. I don't wake up in the mornings anymore checking the Bitcoin price. I remember in the bull market, before I went in on play to earn like this, before I started making the games work for me and not the other way around, waiting for the market, right? The waiting game for the market is the worst. The waiting game for the market is the worst. So I grabbed the bull by the horns, scaled up everything, and now I don't even have to check the crypto markets on a day-to-day basis, right? We rode a lot of these economies and took the compound effect and made it work for us. And what you do, guys, here's the game. Here's the game. I'll highlight this because I think this is the most important part of what I'm about to say. And that is the fact that you need to have a strategy. So how do you take your money off the table? How can you cover your downsides at the same time while scaling up? You might be asking, how have you made money if you're just putting it into the next game? Strategy. So I'm taking 50% off the table every single time. Every single time I cash out of a token at any point. If it's a daily sell, if it's a weekly sell, if it's a bi-daily, if it's every other day type of thing, I am taking 50% off the table in Anchor Protocol for 20% or 19.5% yields between the Terra and the Avalanche blockchains. And they just moved Anchor to Avalanche, by the way. So if you're in Crabada and you're getting profits and you don't know what to do with them, for example, you can now put them in Anchor Protocol for 19.5%. And that's the safest method to keep your stables, in my opinion. So I'm taking 50% off, in my opinion. I'm taking 50% of my profits and putting it right into Anchor. 30% of it maintains in the Economies token or maintains in the economy, scaling up, breeding, buying more characters, staking more, whatever the case is. I will take 30%, and that 30% compounds every 4 weeks, for example. If that's a weekly thing, I've compounded 120% more, right? So if you're taking the 30% of profit, you're compounding that amount, it adds up very quickly. And then I will take 20% off the table completely. I'll take 20% off the table completely, put it into either BlockFi, or I will take it and put it into fiat, right? Because I'm going to be here. This is not an opinion you hear much on YouTube. Everyone's telling you to buy. Everyone tells you they love this, they love that. Pay yourself. No one's in crypto to do anything else but make profit at the end of the day. Let's be real. We are all here to try to find a game plan to change our financial trajectory. Let's just keep it as 100% real as possible because that's how I like to be. I tell you how I play my cards. I'm going to tell you the game, right? You need to pay yourself. You need to protect your downside. If you're going to be in on these volatile economies and these volatile games, and you're taking these stabs and you're taking these risks, take 20% of your profits off the table and pay yourself. Pay yourself. No one is here because, yes, the technology is fantastic and I love what is going to bring to the future. But right now, you're not investing your money to do anything else. When it comes down to dollar bills, you aren't investing to do anything else but make a gain. So have a game plan. Have a game plan. Take 50% and put it into something that's going to outpace inflation, that is going to outpace inflation, aka 50% of your profits off the table into Anchor Protocol, 19.5% per year. And this is now on the Avalanche chains. Can never go broke taking profits. Daniel, exactly. Eco, exactly. You take 50% off the table at 19.5%. You're yielding that. That's already protecting your capital at a much better rate of return. If you're telling a stock market person that you can get 20% on your money in a year, they're listening. You know what I'm saying? The DeFi capabilities here are fantastic. And then you're telling them you don't have to risk your downside. You're staking a stable coin, UST, for 19.5% at that point. Take your profits, put it there, 30% of it, scale up, 20% of it, pay yourself. Enjoy life. Pay yourself. Enjoy experiences. Pay for your family. You know what I mean? Like, that's what we're all here for, is to change your financial trajectory. So I hope you can take value from some point of this video, whether it is how to compound from game to game, how to spot a trend, the safe ways, the riskier plays. You know, there's single-sided staking. There's impermanent loss in these DeFi games, guys. There's volatility on these utility tokens. But if you play your cards right, take the money, make it work for you, while also you don't have urgency. I haven't had urgency to pull out of these games because I'm paid for and I have these profits in place, for example. So I'm not at the urgency to ever dump assets. That's when you're freaking out about potentially having to sell your assets to make your money back. That's when there's a problem in play to earn. You need to just find the yield, compound into multiple games. So then when one game swings down, you're not as stressing. You're not sweating when that utility token takes a fall. And then all of a sudden, all of the earnings that you were depending on go down the drain. When you have multiple things working for you, it's a lot better on not only your portfolio, but your mental as well. Now let's close out the show with a little bit of fun, guys. I do want to talk about a couple of projects that I'm super bullish on coming up. Tank Warzone just launched their soft play to earn, and they also have their play to earn model launching very, very soon. This is a battle game on Phantom that I think has a ton of potential because Phantom is not utilized at all for gaming. And as we see here, they will have a mobile app. It looks very, very good, to be honest. You can pick your tank. You go right into battle here. You can see the scenery in the battle. It's a tank battler, it's a turn-based tank battler on Phantom. Probably the most undersaturated gaming blockchain of the top chains, in my opinion. Tank Warzone is going to bring a lot of liquidity. And I mean, like, it doesn't have any stats yet on DApp radar. So very, very early for Tank Warzone, and their play to earn model will launch soon. And then how about we do a little bit of a giveaway? We haven't done a giveaway here on the In the Game show in a few weeks, it feels like, at least. So let's get for the GDC and the Avalanche conference this week, let's get a little bit of a giveaway going. So Heroes Chained is an upcoming game on the Avalanche blockchain itself. My favorite upcoming gaming blockchain in the space is a real-time fantasy action RPG game. And as we see, like, the graphics here, the art looks very solid. It introduces play and earn instead of play to earn, which has been a pretty hot narrative on Twitter to move things towards play and earn, make it fun again, right? And I think, you know, the NFTs that this game provides have a unique utility to them, and their team does have high praises from the likes of Blizzard, Riot Games, EA Sports, Unity, on different members of their team. So very strong team. And, you know, their NFTs, this is like their first launch of their collection. They have unique rewards for when you stake their native Heroes Chain token. You do get a 30% yield increase, I believe. It was a 30 or 20% yield increase. And then also you get a discount on all in-game fees if you hold the NFT. We have 5 whitelist spots to give away. So what I'm going to do, we are going to give away 5 whitelists for the Heroes Chained upcoming NFT drop. But I will post a tweet right after this. What you'll need to do is go retweet, like the tweet, and reply with swords. So I'll put this up on my Twitter here in about 5 minutes at Hustlepedia YT. And in collaboration with Heroes Chained, we'll give away 5 whitelist spots to 5 members of the community. And what we'll do, we will announce them on the show. We'll announce them on the show later this week whenever I go from GDC. We'll make it fun. I'll do the actual giveaways on the show, and then I'll message you personally. You'll make sure it's not a scammer. We'll get this taken care of, and we'll get everything situated for the whitelist spots. So we'll give them away on the next show. But like the video. We need at least 1.5 thousand likes on this video for me to be able to give away these 5 whitelist spots later this week. I'll post the tweet. Enter on the tweet. You'll just need to follow Heroes Chained, follow me, like and retweet, and reply with a sword, and you will be entered to win a whitelist spot to one of the more hot upcoming Avalanche games that is kind of they're building something special here. They have a quality team. So I'm looking forward to this project. And then if you are looking to participate or looking to get a little bit of the alpha from what's coming on this week, take a look at online Avalanche Summit. We see they have live streams of the whole summit. We have gaming reveals tomorrow from Crabada. We have a gaming reveal here from Ascenders, from Shrapnel. I mean, I'm literally boarding the plane. In the 30 minutes before I board the plane, there's 3 conferences, 3 speakers that I'm literally going to be like laptop in hand. They're going to think I'm crazy. I'm going to be like, I can't even show you my QR code, bro. I got to watch the live stream, you know? I better get a printed ticket so I don't have to interrupt any of my devices, because, you know, this is going to be a hectic 30 minutes with Crabada, Ascenders, and Shrapnel. So they have Wildlife Studios, million monthly active players, Wildlife Studios. So this will be live streamed tomorrow on avalanchesummit.com. I'll also keep you updated on all things from the Game Developer Conference this upcoming week, as I think there will be a lot of developments that are pretty juicy from Microsoft, Meta. There's also so many Web3 projects going out there, like Phantasma, Ultra, Vulcan Forged, Gala. There's going to be tons and tons of alpha out there, and I'll bring as much of it to you to the table, much of it to you as I can, and we'll bring everything to the table that I hear. And, you know, I think it's going to be a hectic week. I'll give you some exclusive content. We'll do a show from the conference later this week. I think it'll be super exciting. 1.5 thousand likes will give away those whitelist spots from the conference while we're doing a show. Be sure to like and be sure to subscribe to Crypto Banter for daily in the game videos. A little long-winded today, but I'm just trying to give you the strategies to win in the game. I'm trying to tell you things that people don't. I'm trying to tell you how to take your money off the table and protect your downside. You know, everyone's buy. But at some point, how are you making this work for you? So I try to lay it out as simple as possible. Be sure to like, be sure to subscribe. I'll be back later this week. We'll have another show tomorrow as well. An AMA, exclusive AMA with Phantom Galaxies. You don't want to miss that. Normal time tomorrow. We'll be back then. And I'll see y'all from GDC later this week. Play well, my friends.